is going to be the first one of our 2 projects that we're going to start with over the next 2 weeks. Hopefully if we get these 2 done, we will start another project and I'll get some more wood out to you. So for our first project we're going to do this week is we're going to do a birdhouse. Okay, so you should have all received your packs by now with a saw, a tape measure, a tri-square, some pins and some nails. So you should have all received 4 pieces of wood. We're only going to use these 2 pieces of wood in this first project. Okay, so we just put these 2 other bits aside. And we're only going to be working with these 2 pieces here. Alright? As you can see, one of them has got a hole for 90 mils from the top, that's 50 mil hole. And then there's a 10-degree angle cut on the other end. Now this is going to be used for our roof, this is going to be used for the front of our bird box. Okay, we're going to start by measuring out our big piece first. Right? So we just put this little one aside. Okay, so our first measurement that we're going to be doing is we're going to be measuring the back. So that's going to be 410 millimeters from one end. So 410 millimeters. That is going to be our back piece. And so once we've marked that once, we grab our top tri-square. We're going to square it right off. Square it across. So now we are going to get our saw and we're going to cut our back piece off. Alright? Now remember, our number 1 rule is always safety, safety, safety. So we just got to be sure that we're using the saw correctly and taking our time. It's not a race, so don't rush it, it's not a race. Of course, now the ideal way to cut it would be on a sawhorse. So you got something nice and solid to brace yourself with. But okay, so not everyone will have a sawhorse. So what you can do is you can use other things around. You can use a chair. You can use a table that you've got lying around. You can even use the step or the edge of the deck. Just something that you can actually brace with. So just for now, I'm going to use the sawhorse. Right? So now remember, safety is our key. And it's just take your time. It's not a rush. Okay? So you just start by pulling the saw backwards on the line. And it's 1 stroke per second. Okay, now just to make things easier when you're cutting, you might want to get somebody to help you out by putting pressure on the wood as you're cutting it. Okay, so now that we've cut our back piece, we're going to start by marking out our sides and cutting each of our side pieces. Okay, so we're going to start marking out our side pieces. Now both our side pieces are identical. So we're going to be marking them out exactly the same. One from this end, one from this end. Okay, so now we've got uneven sides on each side piece. One side is going to be 250 millimeters, the other side is going to be 230. Exactly the same as this end. One's going to be 250, one's going to be 230. Alright, so we're going to start by measuring out 250 millimeters. Remember, we're marking right on the very edge of the wood. And then on this side, we're going to be marking 200. On this side, we'll be marking 230. Okay, and so we make sure that it's right on the edge of the wood. Okay, so now we use our tri-square to line our 2 marks up. Draw our line. And remember, anytime you're doing building or construction, you measure twice. So we remeasure that, make sure that's 250. Make sure this one is 230. Yep. Measure twice and we cut once. Alright, and we repeat the same on the other end of the wood. So again, it's going to be 250 on one side 230 on the other. Now we're going to use our tri-square and line those two markings up. And there we have our two side pieces. Right, so now let's go and cut those off. Again, safety is the key. So make sure you are holding the wood nice and firm by putting plenty of pressure on it. And then we start by drawing the saw back just to get us started. And remember, it is not a race. So just take your time because we want to make sure that all our lines are straight. This will make sure that our project assembles really nice and square. Now our second piece. Again, start by drawing the saw backwards. And that gets our groove started for our saw. Let the saw do the work. And so there we have it, our back and our two sides. Now that we've got our back piece and our two side pieces, we're going to mark out our front piece and cut our front piece off. And this is where we're going to be cutting out our front piece with the hole in, our roof, which has got the 10-degree angle, and in the middle here is going to be our floor piece. So our front piece is going to be 230 mils. So we're going to mark it at 230. And we get our square. We're going to square that 230 mils right off. Now we're going to cut it. Remember, draw back first. And let the saw do the work. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to set our tri-square at 50 mils. And then we're going to measure from one end, 50 mils on either side. Now that is going to be the bottom of where our sides sit. We're going to draw a straight line straight across that. Now that is going to be where our two side pieces are going to line up to. So now we're going to nail our back piece into our side pieces. Carry our line on right around. Line we just marked. We're going to carry that on around on both sides. Now that's going to be where our nailing lines are going to start. So grab your boards, we're going to line it up with our mark, and we're going to scribe the line along there so that we can, so it gives us a guide where we're going to put our nails. And we do exactly the same. Exactly the same on the other side. We line it up with the line. Scribe our mark all the way down. So this is where we're going to start our nails from. Our hammer and nails, and we're going to just start our nails. Starting from well inside and try and find the middle. We're going to drive them in around about 10 mils. Okay, now that we've got our nails in there, ready to go, we're going to line up our sides, remembering the long side goes up against the back piece. So we're we're going to line up our sides with our mark that we made before and flush with this outside. Right? And we're going to hit these nails home. We're going to spin around. Do it with this end as well. So again, we're going to line that up with that line that we made earlier. Flush with the outside. Okay, and so there you have our back and sides. Now we're going to assemble our front piece. Now we have got our front piece, and we're going to measure our space out for our nailing line. So just using the scrap piece of wood that you had off, mark on both sides. Okay, and then we use our tri-square to carry the line on. Remember, use the nice edge to use your tri-square off. Okay, and we use the tri-square to get us a straight line. Now this is only a guideline, so our nails can stay inside the lines. Okay, both sides. So now we are going to pre-nail inside our lines. Now remember, try and find the middle. That means we're going to hit the middle when we put our bird box together, when we put this onto our bird box. So now we are going to attach our front piece. Now the hole goes towards the top, the angle side of your sides. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to line up the outside, keeping your thumb clear, drive the first nail home. Then we line up the top. Drive this top nail home. Once those two are in, you can hit the middle in. Okay, so that's the front of our bird box on. Right, now what we're going to do is we're going to cut our bottom piece out. Now that's going to be using what was left for the roof. Now remember, that 10-degree angle is going to be so we get the right angle on the top here when we're putting it down. Okay? So what we're going to do now is we're going to measure the length of this, and we're going to cut it off this wood. Okay, so we've got to measure how long our floor needs to be. So I'm going to measure this, and it's saying 111 millimeters. Check on both sides, yep. So now what we're going to do is we're going to measure 111 from this end. Now remembering that this end has got our 10-degree angle. It's got a 10-degree angle for our roof. So we're going to measure from the opposite end. And our gap was 111 millimeters. Alright? I'm going to come in 111 millimeters. 10, 111. And now using my square, I'm going to square the 111 millimeter off right across. And I'm going to cut that off. Okay, just remember, make sure you hold the wood firm and draw back to start. Let's all do it. Now that we have got our floor piece cut out, we're going to fit it into the bottom of our bird box. So we fit this end in first. if it was cut correctly, it should be a nice tight squeeze. And so I'm just going to lightly, slowly hit down on this. Until it all fits in nice and snug. And it is sitting flush. Now we are going to get our pencil, mark our line, and this is the line that we're going to be nailing our nails in on. So let's nail the 4 pieces together. Flip them over and repeat on this side. So that's our bottom. Now for our top. Now remembering, our top has got this 10-degree angle on it. That's so it lines up with our back piece over here. Alright? Okay. So now with our off-cut piece, we can use that to measure how far out our nailing line has to be. Okay, we measure that on both sides. Again, we use our square. Use the nice, cleanly cut edge to square it off with. And this is only a guide. Do it on the other side. Okay, the other thing we're going to need to note is how far down our roof goes. So we sit that in there and we just mark the end. So mark the front of the bird box on your wood so that we don't nail any further than that. Okay, so now we're going to pre-nail. We don't want to put the nail too close to the back, otherwise it's going to be really hard to nail it with this back piece there. So now, let's attach our roof, just making sure the sides are as flush as you can get them. And there you have it. You have our bird box. Now the way we've designed this back piece is so that we can put a nail in the top and a nail in the bottom. So now the bird box can be nailed to any tree or any post at all. Okay, the next step after this is we just clean it up and make it look as nice as we can. Okay, so that's our bird box. So once you've finished assembling your birdhouse, you can use a variety of different methods to pretty it up. So one thing you can do is you can paint it with any old paint you've got lying around. One of my personal favourites though is I like to sand it down and use a little bit of cooking oil or a bit of old oil you've got lying around. It just brings out that natural wood colour. And so give it a go on whatever sort of finishing methods you want to try. You can use a bit of paint, you can use a bit of oil, a little bit of anything. Another thing you guys can do is you guys can also use a little bit of your natural talent. So you might be a bit of a drawer. So draw some pictures, draw a design on the side of it. I want to see some of your designs. So just go nuts on whatever sort of designs you want to try on the outside of your birdhouse, and let's see what you guys can come up with. Okay, so what I need you guys to do as well is step by step along the way. I need you guys to be taking photos of your cutting steps. I need you guys to take photos of your assembly steps. I need you guys to take photos of your birdhouse as it's coming together, and of course we really need to see a finished photo of it completed. If you want to do videos, videos are fine. and I want you to upload them into your Google Classroom. So remember how we attached our work documents? Once we've done our work documents, you add file. I need you to add photos in there. Okay, so let's see what you guys come up with, and once you've finished that project, we can start on the second project. Alright, have fun, give it a go, see what you can come up with.